What's up, tubers? Tio here, Simplistic Fishing, coming back at you tonight for another lake breakdown overview. This time we're going out to Alabama. We're going to take a look at Lay Lake. I'm out here on the Outdoor Alabama fishing page. You can see here, I went through the paragraphs. It wasn't too much. They said about the lake, some general information, but I did want to cover a few things. Let's just talk about this first part. Lay Lake is a 12,000 acre reservoir located 35 minutes south of Birmingham off of I-65 and 15 miles south of Columbiana in east central Alabama. Lay Lake borders St. Clair, Talladega, Shelby, Coosa, and Chilton counties. The primary use for this reservoir is hydroelectric generation and recreation. Lay Lake is a popular place for tournament fishing and boating recreation. 7 public access areas offer bank and boat access to the lake, which we'll go over those when we do the breakdown. You can see some more information down here. It talks about the lake, but the main thing we probably want to talk about right here is right in this section that I'll highlight. Largemouth bass up to 18 inches are abundant with moderate numbers of larger bass. So that's pretty decent sized largemouth. I'm here in Texas, so you know they can get a little bit bigger, but this is what's cool. Spotted bass up to 18 inches are very abundant with moderate numbers of large fish. Now 18-inch spotted bass, that's tons of fun. The best fishing for largemouth occurs in the creeks and shallows and water slows, and then anglers targeting the spotted bass should fish the riverine portions of the lake. We'll talk about some of that stuff when we go over the offshore hotspots, and you'll see that. So this more information about the lake is on here if you want to check it out. Again, I'm on the Outdoor Alabama fishing page. Let's switch over and let's look at this thing on Google Earth and see what we uncovered. Well, here we are out on Google Earth now. We're going to take a look at Lay Lake and show you guys everything that we were able to find. Now, unfortunately, with the Google Earth images, I didn't see a lot of water fluctuation. So not a ton here to really be able to, uncover some crazy stuff. But I tell you what, we were able to find quite a bit of stuff. You can see here, this thing's completely broken down from the offshore stuff alongside everything that we found on the bank line. So let's just look at it here on the left-hand side. You can see how I have it broken down. We're going to start up here with the attractors. Let's take a look at those really quick. There's not that many here. There's only like 4, I think, on the entire lake, or maybe it's more than 4, it's 6. And they're all right up here in this little area right up in here. This creek, let me see if I can get the name of this creek. Well, I was hoping I could get the name for you. Beeswax Outdoors. There's a creek name to this creek back here, but I don't know what it is. Not showing up. But this little creek back here, you guys will know where it is, especially those of you that fish this lake a lot. It's right here. All these fish attractors are right here by the Beeswax Creek Park. There's actually one of them shows up on the land, so that's clearly not a good one. But the other ones are all right here by these fishing piers, it looks like. So if you find the fishing piers by the Beeswax State Park, you're good to go. Obviously, if people fishing on the piers, go fish somewhere else. But those are going to be good places to go find some fish for sure. All right, now let's take a look at the channels and ditches, because there weren't a ton of channels that came into this lake, especially considering how big it is, but it is a river system, so most of it's just running straight down. But there were some pretty decent little channels in here. There's some pretty good ones back in here, you can see. So you've got a little intersection there too. Those are always key places to find fish. So some good channels back there. You've got some good channels that are up in here as well. You get pretty far up in there. And again, you got that little intersection right in here. Those intersections are primo places, I'm telling you. Then let's move on up. We've got another channel that's up here. We've got another one back in here. Got a pretty big one that's up in here that's pretty decent looking. This is a pretty nice little, lots of vegetation, grass and stuff like that, but pretty good little channel there for sure to be able to fish around. And you've got a few more that are up here as well. And then of course that beeswax area that we talked about, you've got those channels that come in there, and they actually meet right around the back side of that bridge. So somewhere around that bridge, somewhere in here is a very, very high percentage area for sure. All right, so let's back this out. We've talked about attractors. We've talked about the creek channels. And now we're going to talk about the cover and structure. So again, normally on some of these lakes, especially on the Texas lakes, I can draw the water down, depending on the year, 10 feet sometimes and see during droughts. In this case, I can't really see that much fluctuation in the lake. So we didn't get to mark as much stuff that was under the water. A lot of the stuff we had to depend on contours and satellite imaging. But you can see here, we've got quite a few stuff marked, several different laydowns, some debris that's back here. Right here off the side of this dock, we found some debris there. There's some more debris as you kind of go through here. There's a few here and there. And this mainly just stuff that we found on the shoreline close to docks and things like that. And then of course, all your laydowns. If you're a crappie fisherman, you're gonna love those laydowns. If you're a bass fisherman, if the laydown pattern's on, you definitely have plenty of laydowns to fish around. I got a good feeling this is a grass lake, so a lot of the fishing is gonna have to do with where that grass is and how it sets up and stuff like that. All right, then next, offshore. We're not going to talk about offshore on Google Earth because, as you can see, if I move it to just offshore, this makes absolutely no sense because you can't see the contours, right? So once we get done with this, we're going to switch over to the Simplistic Fishing Mobile App, and we're going to look at the contours that are provided to us by Navionics, and we're going to talk about some of these offshore spots because this lake is awesome. The river channel provides you so many opportunities to fish. It's super awesome. It makes it a lot easier to be able to find fish. So we definitely want to talk about that. We've got ramps and slabs. If you've ever heard any of my lake breakdowns before, fishing these old ramps and slabs, especially the private ones, can be absolutely money. It's a good pattern that you can actually run. So you definitely want to check it out. And then if you don't want to do that and you're like, dude, I'm not fishing ramps, that's cool, that's fine. At least you know where all the ramps are on the lake. So that way, if you get in any trouble, you'll know where your closest one is, right? All right, then we've got the rocks. So obviously, you know, there's quite a bit of rock on this lake, not a ton, but quite a bit. So we marked all the different rocky areas that would be fishable for you to fish around. So you got quite a bit of stuff in here. The main thing I would look for in this rock is I would wait until we looked at the contour mapping, and then I would match that up with the creek channel swings because those rocky areas are created because of those creek channel swings. So here's a perfect example right here along this bluff wall. If it's a bluff, kind of looks like a bluff. But you know it's rocky. Why is it rocky? Because the creek channel or the river channel is swinging right against it. And those are key rocky places that you're going to want to go fish. So I would just pay attention to that. You know, if you see any type of swing and you see where we've marked rock, like right there, that's going to be a good little point to fish around, right? With all that rock around it. And then maybe we move up and we look maybe up here, this little point right here. This is a nice little pinch point right here. And you got rock on both sides. So definitely check out both sides and see what you can find there. And then again, just kind of going through it and just looking this little rocky area back in here, you know that's probably got to be good. There's probably a drain or something that goes under there. It's always just going to be good, especially square bill and something like that on that riprap. But then this other rock, mainly you're looking at the river channels, right? So here, river channel swings against us, probably creating some rocky stuff there. I'm sure you've got some rock over in here somewhere as well. You got some more rock up there, but you get the point of it. Again, some more rock up there. So some good stuff there. So we covered the rock. Now let's talk about the vegetation. So there was a ton of vegetation on this lake. So what we did is we marked all the different grassy areas that were throughout the lake, all the main primary grass areas as we moved back and forth through Google Earth where we could tell there was grass. So if you're fishing this lake and you're like, dude, I just want to fish the grass, it sounds super fun and maybe it's the right time of year to do it, you'll know exactly where all these little grassy areas are throughout the lake. And I'll just kind of scroll up here so you guys can see it since we're doing this little overview. I like this area back up in here. This looks really, really juicy, especially with that, I don't know if that's a river channel or something coming in there. Let's see if there is a channel, yeah. So what I would do is if it was me, at first time fishing this lake, right, I would focus on these channels. So wherever the channels are, that's probably where I'm gonna go. And then I'm gonna focus on stuff that's around those channels, like the grass that's there, the grass that's back here, maybe run up a little ways and fish up in here somewhere, maybe fish the grass and then maybe fish those channel swings. And that's probably how it would start off and then just kind of work from there. But you have got plenty of opportunities to fish grass in this lake. You can see it's just scattered throughout the entire lake. So really, really cool. All right, guys, so if I put all this together, this is what it's going to look like. And this is what it would look like on your fishing graph. If you got the Simplistic Fishing SD card, you could import it in and you would have all these waypoints on your graph. It wouldn't look exactly like this because you don't have the satellite imaging, but you would see these waypoints setting on top of your contour mapping. And then of course, if you get the Simplistic Fishing Mobile App, you're going to see that here in a minute. It's going to look very, very similar to this. So let's go ahead and switch over that while we're talking about it. And let's look at some of these offshore spots that this lake has to offer because I'm telling you, it looks really, really awesome. Let's go. All right, now I've switched over. I'm actually using the Simplistic Fishing Mobile App. So if you haven't downloaded it yet, definitely go check it out. If you do the region subscription, you actually get a 3-day free trial. So if you want to check it out for a few days, do the region subscription. If you just want a single lake, you can do the single lake as well. It's $9.99 for the single lake, or for the whole region, it's $19.99. But let's go ahead and jump in here and take a look at these contours for Lay Lake, because we're not here to promote the Simplistic Fishing app. We're here to show you Lay Lake. So let's go out here to the southeast region. I'm going to click View. Then I'm going to scroll down. These are all the lakes we have in the southeast region. I'm going to click Lay Lake. And then from there, I'm going to click Waypoints. And then you're going to see all the waypoints that we just discussed on Google Earth, right? So here's all the stuff that we were talking about, the laydowns, the grass, all that good stuff. I'm going to come up here to the upper right, and I'm going to go to Filter Waypoints. And I just want to look at the offshore stuff, because that's what we're talking about in this part of the video. And then once that pops up, I'm going to go back up here to the little hamburger menu up the top, and I'm going to click on Contours. And so now we have all of our offshore spots. My phone's a little slow. All of our offshore spots marked here on the phone, and we can see everything from the contour perspective. So what I was telling you about on this lake that I think is really, really important is paying attention to where that river channel swing is, right? Really understanding where that is and looking for spots where it comes close to there or touches there, because those are going to be your best spots, right? So just looking here on the screen, there's several of those. So if we come down here and we take a look maybe at this little part right here, right? We've got several different points. So starting on the bottom one, this one right here, that point looks juicy. I mean, just look at it. It's got great curve going against it. So you got the river channel swing going against it, and you got a little hump out there as well, it looks like, or something going on there at the top that's super shallow. You've got a rounded point here, which, you know, may be good during certain times of year, and it may not be during other times of year, but the fact that this one's right on the river channel swing makes it primo as well. And then we go up here, we'll look at this one. This one's got a little bit of a flat top on it. So I really like that one. And then this one too looks pretty good too. It's got a little bit of a flat top, but definitely right there on the river channel swing, so you know it's going to be good. So again, guys, some really good stuff right there in that area for sure. You've got some good stuff out here. If you want to get a little bit deeper and get farther out here, these two spots right here, they're like little humps, but they're also right on the swing too. Those look like they could be really good too. I'll give you a little bit of a help location there if you want the location. All right, so let's go look at a couple more that we have marked here. You can see we've got several back here as well. You've got this offshore island that's out here or something. I don't know what's going on there, but some good stuff around the island. You can see some good points coming off the island. You've got some good humps that are back in here as well. You can see that we've marked. So just some really good looking stuff. All these points over here. Look at the drops that are coming in here on this side. So you got some really good drops that are right here in this area. That little point right there looks good. This little shelf right here looks good. That's probably where the river channel swings down. So just pay close attention to where that river channel is, and anywhere you find a creek channel or a river channel swinging against a point, like right here, that's going to be a good spot to fish. So guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for our video today. Hopefully if my phone would go a little bit faster, I could show you what else we have marked up here, but you can see we have several different waypoints marked up here. Lots of good stuff. So pay attention to those creek channels, pay attention to the river channels. And oh, I wanted to show you one more spot because I really like this spot because it's definitely a pinch point. But right in here, probably a community hole would be my guess. But either side, right in here, looks really, really juicy. So either that one on the left or this one on the right. But fishing anywhere in this area, and even fishing where you see here where the break is, and then it goes up to shallow, fishing right on that, right where that break is, or right off the edge of that point, probably in there is going to be a good spot. Kind of the same thing over here. You don't have as much because that break tucks back, but I would start at that point and maybe even move up north and see that little flat spot right there. You might want to check that spot out as well. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up. That's a wrap for the day. If you want to pick up these waypoints, go out to our website, simplisticfishing.com, and pick up the waypoints for Lay Lake. We support all the graphs that are on the market today. We'll send you the SD card. You just put it in your graph and you're on your way, or we can email you the files. You can put it on your own SD card and put it on your graph as well so you can get it instantly. And don't forget, we've got that Simplistic Fishing mobile app if you really want to take it to the next level. Until next time, guys, I hope you catch your PB. Take it easy.